All right, good morning, YouTube. So, we just brought you my wife's green deck profile. I figured I'd bring you mine. And I figured I only really had one budget deck profile on the channel so far. So, it's, there's no better time to bring you a second one. So, this is my budget green, sort of aggro, also sort of control. It's kind of like a mid-range green, but I don't know. It has a versatile lineup, so it can kind of play to a bunch of different styles. So yeah, here we go. Let's go ahead and get right into the deck profile. We have, as always, our Digitama. We have a full house lineup of 2 Fremon and 3 Tanamon. Now, I really like these cards. Fremon is pretty situational, but the 2000 power buff is the best that we see on green level 2s, like I said in my wife's profile. But it is situational, so I am only playing 2 of this as opposed to the 3 Tanamon. This is very easy to get off, and, the 1000 power buff really helps. It helps you hit some of the magic numbers. But, yeah, those are the 5 Digitama. We're going to go ahead into the Tamers and Options first, because I think that would make this deck make a little bit more sense, as it did with my wife's deck. So to start off, we have 2 copies of Mimi. Now, I kind of agree with my wife in that Izzy is the best green Tamer so far. And this deck is just not set up to resolve Izzy. It's not playing enough green level 5s. It's not playing enough green Digimon to consistently resolve the Izzy, but I am playing enough rookies to consistently resolve Mimi. So having Mimi pull something out of the raising phase or just give you another raising phase every turn is really nice and helps add to the tempo that this deck provides. And, setting your memory to 3 is also really cool because it helps you make sure that you can do things like Digivolve into the Digitamamon. The next Tamer we have is the Red Tie. So if you've seen any of my other videos, I'm a huge advocate for this card. This helps you hit some of the magic numbers. So this card has risen in popularity since the initial webcam tournament. What it does is just gives you a blanket 1000, and it makes your 6000 power guys bigger than blockers. So if they want to block you, suddenly their blocker dies. It makes your 5000 power dudes trade with blockers. It makes your 7000 power dudes hit over all other level 5s. It's just a really good card. And if you get if you get both of them on the board, you can just run over things. And it's no remorse. It's just a really good card. And it helps you because it lets you play this card from your hand. Gaia Force is great. Gaia Force is a great card. Any deck that isn't red that can resolve Gaia Force, it's amazing. Because your opponent doesn't see this coming. If you're playing in a game 1 situation, let's say this is Insecurity, and your opponent doesn't see it coming, they hit it, it sets them back because they weren't trying to play around it. If you haven't, even if it's not Insecurity, if you have a Gaia Force and a Tie in hand, and they have something that you really need to remove, and let's say they Omnimon you, typically they're going to leave you with more than 2 memory. What you can do is you can just play the Tie, and then Gaia Force the Omnimon. It's hilarious. I really like this little red engine in a lot of decks, green included. It just gives you so much more power, and it gives you options to actually remove things. Now, also, I am playing 4 Flower Cannons. This rounds out the rest of the Tamers and Options. I'm playing 4 Tamers and 6 Options. Say hello to my cat, everybody. This is Admiral Dimitri Swagmittens. But, Flower Cannon's a really good card. It, lets you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. It's good if you just want to run over something. It's good if you want to just, tap something down so that you can keep it suspended with Puppetmon. It's great when it comes up in Security because it's really, it's just really a busted card. And, these are 2 of the most crucial options in the game, and just having access to both of them is amazing. So we're going to go into the level 3s. This is the most important one. My boy Tentomon. Tentomon, when attacking, gives you the inheritable ability of suspend something with 3,000 or less. So it really helps get your board wipes going, so you can just kind of like start tapping little things and swing down. It's a good card. We have 4 copies of Goblumon. This card, you're playing a lot of rookies. This card is very cheap to play normally, so doesn't really need a whole lot of explaining. We have the 4 copies of Goblumon. The generic 1,000 power boost is just not to be underestimated. It's just a great ability. Lets you hit over things. It's a good card. We have 2 copies of Palmon. Now, I really don't like this card a whole lot, but it does come up. You're playing a lot of I'm playing a lot of level 4s in this deck. So the fact that Palmon can just possibly give you a +1 is nice. It works sometimes. It doesn't work a lot. But, that's why I'm not playing more than 2. I'd consider cutting one of these for a second copy of Mushroomon. I'm playing 1 copy of Mushroomon to give me another green card that's just 2 cost to hard play. The 1 cost to evolve into kind of blows, but you're cutting corners a lot with a lot of your other evolutions that sometimes this really doesn't matter. And playing, 15. Yeah, I'm playing 15 green rookies. So that makes your Mimis live a lot. You need to play a high number of rookies so that you can resolve your Mimis a lot if you're playing the Mimis. Now, to round out the rest of the level 3s, I have 1 copy of the red Agumon and 1 copy of Muchomon. So, Agumon lets you search your tamers from the top 5. I'm playing 4 tamers. This can help me +1. Like I said, it's like the Palmon. It's not consistent. So I was playing 2 copies of this, but I cut 1 for the Muchomon because this card helps me get around Volcanic Dramon. So the base 5,000 power is just really good. You can just play the Penguin. And if you have a tie in play, then this 3-cost Penguin trades with blockers. This card is not to be slept on. I'm surprised more decks aren't playing this card, especially like the Champion Rush style decks, because some of those decks really struggle against Volcanic Dramon, and this is just 1 more card that will survive that board wipe. But yeah, I'm playing 17 rookies in total, 2 of them being red. On to the level 4s. We got 4 of the Veggie Boy. He's cheap in every sense, and he's strong. And with the tie, he hits over blockers. This is just a great champion. This is also a great champion. This isn't as important in this deck as it is in other green decks. And you'll see why when I get into the level 5s, but it is still very important. This is the one that you want to evolve on top of. So I'm not playing very many level 5s, so you kind of get to your pick of which level 4 you want to go into, or which one level 4 you want to stack on top of. And this is always the one that you want to stack on top of. So we have 3 copies of Togemon. Now, this card is actually significantly more important than Palmon in every sense. So the cards that you want to be searching are your level 5s and 6s in this deck. Just because you're playing so few of them, the possibility of hitting one of them in the top 3 is just really nice. And the fact that it just says 5 or higher is really good. So I wish I had room for a 4th Togemon, but I also don't know if I can justify playing 4 Togemon because it's not really super consistent. And then to round out the level 4s, we have 2 copies of Woodmon. So I am playing 13 level 4s, 2 of them being blockers. This deck is super aggressive, so I'm not playing more blockers than the level 4 Woodmon and then the 2 Cherrymon. So I still have 4 blockers in the deck. It's just only 2 of them are level 4. But that's a great segue into the level 5s. We have the 2 Cherrymon. It is the second most important level 5 in the deck. It's just a good cheap card to evolve into, and it has blocker. So you can use this to attack with if you have the Kabuterimon under it, and it's just good for that. But it also has an effect on its own, so it's just a good card. And you don't really want any of the other green level 5s in this deck because you aren't really evolving into your level 6. I'll get into that. But so I didn't want to play any of the other level 5s with inheritable abilities. The best level 5 in the deck, and the only other one, is Digitamamon. So this is kind of one of the purposes of the deck. What you're supposed to do is play this card on top of like the Kabuterimon, start swinging, start gaining a bunch of memory, use the bunch of memory to put more cards on the board, use your Mimi to put more cards on the board, and you're just putting so many cards on the board that your opponent's like, man, he has a lot of cards on the board, and then hopefully they just lose. So by gaining a whole bunch of memory, you finish off your turn with the 1 level 6 in the deck by just hard playing it. It's the Puppetmon. So you just keep everything that they have suspended, boost yourself up with the tie, and then swing with every body that you've put on the board. Like every little mon, every big mon, you just evolve up to get all the draw that you need. And these are your main cards. The deck was built around these 8 cards on the mat right here. This is the deck. I should have led with these cards, but these cards are amazing. Again, I can't stress enough, you just attack with this. If you get 2 of these on the board, you just kind of build up so that you just start swinging. You drop a Puppetmon. You keep the thing suspended. You drop the second Puppetmon. You suspend more things, and then you just go. But yeah, that's my green budget deck. It is, I don't think... Yeah, no, there are no super rares in the deck, so the most expensive card is the Flower Cannon. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and as always, let me know what you think.